Drawing of Stitch. Cartoon Kiss is realistic with markers, or first the satisfying part. First time using markers to color. It's easier than with colored pencils. Like for the realistic part. Epic drawing.
Working characters, Patrick, Stitch. The ending will make you say, wow, it'll look adorably creepy, but you know what's cuter? Giving me a like. That would help me a lot. I'm almost done. What name would you give to this thing?
Combining Mickey Mouse characters with Stitch will be so epic you'll want to comment, wow. I sketch, color with alcohol markers, then add details with colored pencils to make it epic. But you know what would be even more epic? A like from you. To draw this, remember each character's traits and blend them to make a new one. What name would you give this new character? To make this drawing more epic, I'll add some realism by including small hairs, so it'll look like a plush toy. Another point to keep in mind is that I pay attention, pardon the redundancy, to the lights and shadows, so it has a three-dimensional effect that looks 3D. Once I have the lights and shadows, then I start adding details and even some highlights. How would you rate me? From 1 to 10, follow me for more epic features drawing characters in different colors, like Stitch in black. The result will make you say, wow, plus I'm going to draw it in a realistic style, so it's going to look amazing. Comment below, what's your favorite color? Mine is black, though I'm unsure if black is a color or just the absence of color. I use alcohol markers to draw fur, adding lights and shadows for realism. Dark blacks create shadows, while grays highlight lighter areas. A magic trick? This is where Stitch really comes to life, with those huge eyes that make him look adorable. Although you know what would make it even better? If you gave me a nice like. It's not mandatory, but it would help me a lot. Now I use some colors to draw those little hairs and give it even more detail and realism. But to make it even more realistic, we add some sparkles. How would you rate me? From 1 to 10. Drawing characters in others' pajamas, like Shrek and Stitch pajamas, will be so cute you'll want to share and rewatch the video. I'll make Shrek baby style too for extra cuteness. But, you know what would be even nicer? If you give me a big like for this drawing. First I made the sketch, and then I started coloring using alcohol markers, because it makes coloring easier and faster for me. First I draw Shrek, and then I add the pajamas. I'll make the pajamas really fuzzy, so you'll want to have pajamas like that, nice and warm. The kind that makes you sleep peacefully and even snore at night, just like Shrek would. Baby, do you snore when you sleep? And for your pajamas, which character would you choose? I'll add lights and shadows to make the drawing look 3D like magic. I make some pencils appear because they help me add details, like the little hairs on the pajamas or even the eyebrows. We add some highlights to make it look more realistic. And I have a question. How would you rate me? From 1 to 10. Drawing characters with different nationalities, Stitch with Mexican nationality, the result will make you say, wow, that's incredible, because I'm also going to draw this Mexican Stitch in a realistic style, with lots of little hairs. It looks like a plush toy anyone would want. Who wouldn't love a Stitch plush? Like if you're a Stitch fan, and comment your nationality or where you're watching from. I'll remember your countries for future videos. For this drawing, I was inspired by Mexico's colors and traditions, especially the sombrero and big mustache. So the result turns out beautiful, although you know what would be even better? If you gave me a nice like. It's not mandatory, but Stitch would really appreciate it. I use alcohol markers for quick coloring and pencils for details, making the drawing look more realistic and epic. Let me know in the comments who's Team Mexico. I can draw whatever you imagine. Now you know what a Mexican Stitch looks like. How would you rate me from 1 to 10 for drawing Stitch in 4 epic styles? The result may surprise you. We begin with the X-ray style. I first color it as usual, then add the X-ray effect. If you're satisfied with the postcard-like marker, I outline with a white acrylic marker. And just like that, you have a Stitch in X-ray style. But the next style will make you say wow because it's the realistic style. And there's nothing cuter than a realistic Stitch, like if you're a Stitch fan. For this part, the trick is to add shadows and highlights. And of course, lots of little hairs to make it look like a plush toy. For that, I use colored pencils and the shine that can't be missed. If you like this style, let's try the metallic one. Stitch looks like a cute robot. It's easier. I just use grays, add highlights for lights and shadows, and it turns out great. The next style, neon light, is even more amazing. I use a black background, outline with a white marker, then add light blue around the white lines. It's that easy to create a neon light effect. Tell me your favorite style in the comments and rate me from 1 to 10. Drawing characters in different styles, Stitch, Minecraft style. The result will make you say wow, because you'll see Stitch like never before. I've drawn him in various styles, black, superhero, realistic, but never in Minecraft style. Since Minecraft is so popular, like if you're a fan. Drink some water. For this drawing, I use colored pencils and markers. I want it to turn out epic, but you know what would be even better? Giving me a like, it would really help me. The drawing will be 3D, so I need to consider lights, shadows, and volume. I also have to remember Minecraft uses lots of small squares. Let me know in the comments which other character you would like me to draw in Minecraft style, or what other style you would like me to draw. The best thing about drawing Stitch is that almost all of us are fans of Stitch, so comment if you're a fan of Stitch and tell me, how would you rate me? From 1 to 10.
Disney drawing competition, you kiss me? The result will make you comment wow, because you'll see Stitch like never before. Let's start with the one from the live-action movie. Honestly, I love that design because it looks so cute and playful. Also, I'm a fan of Stitch, like if you're a fan of Stitch too. The trick for this drawing is to drink some water and draw a lot of little hairs on him so you'll want to hug him. Now comes the most epic part. I'm drawing Stitch in my style, making him furrier but keeping his original colors. Comment, which style do you prefer? Which did you like more? Share it with your friends who are fans of Stitch. I use a lot of colors and add a lot of details. I'm almost done, I'm so nervous. How would you rate me? From 1 to 10. Which one do you like more?
Drawing Stitch using only red will make him so cute you'll want to comment, wow, you've never seen Stitch like this before. I'll use only my red materials, but there's more. I'll also make this drawing of Stitch in a realistic style, very furry and fluffy, so that in the end you'll want to hug him. The trick to making this drawing epic and very realistic is to pay attention to lights and shadows. I use many shadows and midtones, listening to music for inspiration, but I strictly stick to using only red colors. I use alcohol markers to color faster, but I also use acrylic markers for some parts, like Stitch's characteristic nose. I use my best magic trick to make some colored pencils appear, because I'm going to add a lot of details. A lot of little hairs take shape with the colored pencils. I give it a texture that really looks like little hairs. I know art is not very appreciated, but if you want, give me a nice like. Also, we're drawing Stitch, and we're all fans of Stitch. Leave a comment. If you love Stitch, decorate the result and rate me from 1 to 10. I tried drawing Stitch but messed up. Still, artists solve problems, so I turned it into a happy accident. The result will be so epic that I'll make you comment wow. Also, it's the best Stitch drawing you'll see, since I'll use the stain to draw something different and unique, as it will be a combination of two characters from Lilo & Stitch. Leave a comment. If you know which character I'm drawing, as you can see, the main clue is that it's pink. Also, we're all fans of Stitch, like if you're a fan of Stitch too. But to surprise you even more, I'll make this drawing in a realistic style, with lots of little hairs, so you'll want to hug it. This drawing leaves a beautiful lesson. Sometimes mistakes don't ruin your art, they transform it into something more beautiful. Improvising led me to create a piece where Stitch met his angel. Have some water. This life lesson shows we learn from mistakes with colored pencils. I added lots of details and highlights to make the drawing more epic and pop off the page. I also drew Angel, Stitch's girlfriend, so did I improve it or not? I made the most epic drawing of Lilo, because I'm going to draw her in two styles. The final result will make you comment, wow, since you'll see how I drew her in cartoon style and in realistic style. Comment if you're a fan of Lilo and Stitch. I'll start with the cartoon style, which is easier to draw in color. I use alcohol markers for faster coloring, mainly brown, since Lilo has a darker complexion and is very cute. Like if you think Lilo and Stitch are cute, I've drawn Stitch in different styles, and now it's Lilo's turn. Without her, Stitch would be lost. I add highlights for an epic look, but the next style is even more epic. For this part, I need to draw many details, focus on lights and shadows, and match the skin tone for realism. That's why I use colored pencils and patiently apply several soft layers, he says. What's your favorite style? Is it the animated one or the realistic one? Here, I even draw every single hair. I'm almost done, but it doesn't matter that I broke all 12 of my fingers and spent 100 centuries on this. The important thing is that you love this drawing. But tell me, how would you rate me from 1 to 10?